Okay, so here are a few random things about Vaughn. He is a candy, like, if they had a cookie monster, like a candy monster for a cookie monster, he's a candy monster. He sneaks candy in his pockets. He goes to the store and buys like 5 cent, 10 cent candies. He eats things that turns his mouth a different color, which I think anybody over the age of like 19, 20 shouldn't do. But he's 34 and he eats Laffy Taffy and Sour Powers and some kind of straws, sour straws, and Swedish fish, and lemon heads, and I mean any kind of candy that he can get his hand on, hard candy, sweet candy, sugary, sour, he loves it. And I am more of a health nut, I would say. So he has his own cabinet full of candy and ring dings and chips and all those types of things. And when I do the laundry, candy wrappers fall out and he tries to hide them from me. If I send him to the store, he gets the candy and tries to eat it quick enough, like on the way home. And then when I open up the paper, like candy wrappers fall out. He's so bad at hiding it, but he does try. I mean, I find empty wrappers all the time. Um, so that's one thing. He doesn't know a lot of cultural things from like the our youth, I would say. He wasn't raised, he wasn't allowed to have a TV, and he was raised in the church, and so he just missed out on a lot of things. And I don't think he knows what he missed out on, so it doesn't really affect him in any kind of way other than me just mentioning something like Monopoly and learning last week that he's never played it before. So I had to go out and actually buy Monopoly. Just little things like that. You know, he's a teacher, he's a principal, he's an educator, but it's just interesting that he works with kids, and a lot of things that I know and love growing up as a kid, he really didn't have access to. Another thing that is random is he's got adopted siblings. So we want to adopt one day, hopefully. But he's just got a great blended family, and it's a testament to him and his family and the type of person that he is, because he just is very accepting of everyone. And I don't call his brothers and sisters my in-laws, they're my brothers and sisters, and we just have a great relationship and a great family unit that way. His mom raised 5 kids on her own, and 3 of which were adopted, and you just couldn't tell that any one does not belong. Everyone is just a very loving, happy family, and I just think that that's an awesome thing about him. Um, Another random thing is he doesn't have a driver's license, so I have to do all the driving. He loves to take trips, but he can never drive anywhere. And we don't have a GPS system. We just use like a GPS on our phone, and we get in arguments because he doesn't know how to use it, and then we get lost, and then I gotta stop, and it's just bananas. But it's annoying too because he's 34. And yes, you're raised in Brooklyn and New York City, and I understand the whole I don't need a license, I live in New York, but now we live in New Jersey and we have a baby and a car seat and a car, and he still doesn't drive. So I drove throughout my pregnancy. I was having contractions in driving. Thank God I had the baby at home. We had a planned home birth. Otherwise, I would have had to drive myself to the hospital. So anyway, don't talk about that because that's gonna annoy the crap out of him. Another random thing is that, well, I just say all the time that he should have been like a rock star. He's like a closet. He sings all the time. He cannot sing, but he sings all the time. He likes to perform. He likes to entertain, and I tell him he is an educator. He was supposed to be an entertainer, but he got the second best thing. He gets to stand in front of kids and be around kids and entertain kids all day. They look up to him so much, and he's always the center of attention. So it's a great endearing quality. He's not, you know, egotistical, I would say, or stuck on himself, but he is very much a ham. So, if anybody ever says he's shy, that would definitely not be the truth. Um, okay, so what drives me crazy about Vaughn? I mentioned the fact that he doesn't have a license drives me crazy. He doesn't have a memory. He doesn't remember anything. I think I mentioned that drives me crazy. He is always picking at he picks at himself all the time. He's always picking his hair and rubbing his face. He's very hairy. He's got a beard. It's always itching, so he's always combing it with a comb and combing his hair and doing this and making noise. He's just always picking at himself. It just annoys me. I'm very like freaked out about germs and hygienic. I'm probably a little bit OCD, undiagnosed, but um, so a lot of the things he does, like putting his hands in his mouth and it just, it just grosses me out. So yeah, that grosses me out. What else drives me crazy? I just hate having to repeat myself. I hate having to tell him things. Sometimes I wish he would just take the initiative and just do things and then do it without like any fanfare. Like he'll do it and then after he does it, like I might say thank you, but if I don't even say anything, I'm just like that was nice that he did it. Then it's like, did you notice the such and such and such? It's like, ugh. So then I have to give a gold star and then it's like I don't know. I think there's just so much like women tend to just do things. We know it needs to get done and we do it and we don't get praise and we don't get patted on the back. But then when men do things, they need like everyone to know that they did them, how they did them, when they did them, how often they did them, and then they also need the gold star. So, little different and a little pet peeve. Vaughn's style. Vaughn is becoming more and more a fashionista every day. He tells everyone that I'm in fashion and he's got to keep up with me, and he's definitely already had a sense of style and he loved to shop before I met him, but he's completely, done a 360 and we went through the days where everyone was like, "Ooh, Tashonda must have dressed you today," because he was looking completely different than he used to. And now he does dress himself and he picks out his own stuff and people still don't give him the credit for it. And I think that's hilarious. But he runs things by me. He is a metrosexual, I have to say. Even though he wants to be a manly man and he can be about certain things, but he's definitely more into grooming and his appearance and mixing and matching his colors and prints and he has streamlined his jeans a little bit more and he's just a little bit more into fashion than he used to be. It wasn't just about looking good. Now he knows a little bit more how to play around. So um, he likes the spa. Um, he's realizing that being pampered does not have to just be a woman's thing, and he may not tell everyone that he, will get manis and petties and stuff like that. He doesn't do it all the time. I would like for him to do a little bit more, but he's open to it, and he's open to the grooming aspect of his life a little bit more now than he used to be. But he likes to look good. We tend to show up places coordinated, even though he claims that I'm always picking out my clothes after he picks out his clothes. If I wear purple, he usually wears purple. Like we tend to match sometimes. I say we're like Will and Jada because they are just the cutest couple and they always look like they coordinated. And sometimes we might coordinate, but it's never really a verbal thing. He might see what I'm wearing or I might see no, usually he sees what I'm wearing. He wants to know, is this a dressy affair? Can I wear jeans? Can I wear this? Can I wear that? And then based on what I'm wearing, he will kind of try to fit in with me. So that's his style. Um, okay, and so sleeping, he's like a narcoleptic. He doesn't believe it. I think he's got narcolepsy. He works very hard. He gets up very early. He has a long commute. But when he comes home, he can fall asleep mid-sentence. He will fall asleep on the train. He will fall asleep in a cab ride home. He will fall asleep in his clothes, in his coat. He will let the dog out downstairs, and then I won't see him for like 2-3 hours because he's asleep on the couch downstairs in his coat, suit, jacket, tie, shoes, everything. Um, it's just hilarious. He falls asleep random ways. Like I used to put things on top of him and take pictures because he sleeps so soundly. So yeah, I it's just hilarious. I know it's because he works very, very hard. And my mom always takes up for him because she's also in education. She's like, you just don't understand. But I do understand because I'm sleep deprived. I haven't slept. I didn't sleep before the baby was born because I was pregnant. I haven't slept since the baby was here. And I still don't fall asleep in the middle of a sentence. So, anyway, um, yeah, he's hilarious. And he's always swears he's watching something and he's not. And we love going to the movies, and before the baby we used to go every Friday. In every movie he would fall asleep, no matter what. And if he did not, even just for a little bit, even a movie he wanted to see so bad. And so if he got through an entire movie, after the movie he would always be like, I got through the movie. Or he'll say, I only slept for 10 minutes, or I only missed the first part. And so yeah, he just is a sleepyhead. He can't help himself. Okay, I'm going to stop this one and see if there's any more questions.